Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I have been gone for a really long time. I think it's been about 10 or 11 months, so almost a year that I have not made a video. And that is because I've had a lot of life changes, starting with my company that I've been working for 10 years, since the beginning, since we started, closed its doors over the summer, leaving kind of all of us scrambling to find a job. And I considered myself pretty lucky that I actually found a job before my last day of the wind down, and it fell in my lap. I didn't even have to search for it. It came to me, which should have been red flag number one. But when you're of a certain age, like me, and you're finding yourself out of a job and you haven't been in the marketplace for a number of years, you kind of freak out a little bit. So, despite that being a red flag, I still looked into it and had an interview. I had 3 interviews, and during none of these interviews did they ask me any interview questions. Actual interview questions. It was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. Red flag number 2. Right there. Should have been that right there. Still didn't faze me. I was like, oh, I got a great, I'm going to get this job. I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't have to send out resumes. I didn't have to market myself. I didn't have to do anything. Oh my God. So about 2 weeks go by, after these 3 interviews with 3 different people who did not ask me any interview style questions, more just kind of telling me what an absolute cluster this company was. And I should have believed them when they were telling me that. I should have. I did not, because I needed a job and I needed benefits. And I went, got the job offer. I accepted it. It was a significant increase in salary. I was already making decent money, but this was a lot more. And I was like, how lucky am I? And they wanted me to start right away, which should have been red flag number 3. Should have been it. I'm smart enough. I should know better. I didn't. I took the job. And I started it in the summer, over the summer. And I disappeared during that time because everything about this job sucked. Everything. Absolutely everything about it sucked. It was an utter cluster. It was a nightmare. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. I didn't even know what I was doing, for God's sake. No training. Just welcome, start working. No training. It was fully remote like my last job was, so it was great. I loved that. No training, nothing. Just training on company stuff, like, avoid spoof emails and phishing and don't sexually harass anybody and blah, 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 like the basic shit that everybody knows. That was all the training we got for a week. And then all of a sudden I was thrown into this role that was just god awful. And I mean god awful. This isn't even hyperbole. It was god awful. It was terrible. I struggled for 6 solid months. I was a nightmare to live with. I was not happy. I could not sleep at night. I had so much anxiety. Everything that had to be done at this job had to be done urgently. So you'd get on a project, and then immediately as soon as you'd start that, you'd have another urgent project that needed your attention urgently. Again, all of these red flags. I dealt with that for about 4 months, being incredibly just unhappy, absolutely unhappy, completely miserable to live with and be around. My mental health was circling the drain. I was not in a good place. I was at my dispensary probably once a week to get gummies so I could sleep at night, just so I could sleep. And I still couldn't. I would still wake up in the middle of the night with massive anxiety over this damn job. It was awful. And every day I was like, oh, it's going to be today. Today's the day I'm going to walk away. But, we're told you've got to have benefits. You've got to make money. You've got to be a productive member of your house. And, unfortunately, I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that piece of it, which is great. But I do have pets. I got to support them. And it just got to be it was really, really bad. And so the new year rolled around, and I didn't think I could take much more of it. And I started really job searching in earnest, just at my lunch hour, every night after work, just constantly searching for jobs, getting nowhere. The job market is terrible. Getting absolutely nowhere, no callbacks, nothing, being ghosted, or just getting immediately rejected for positions that I was well qualified for, completely rejected. I kept a book of every place I was applying to, and I was only applying for jobs that I was qualified for. I kept a book. I counted there were over 75 resumes that I sent out in a 30-day period, and I got 2 calls. 2. Those calls actually came after the last straw at the job, which was I was very thinly, it was a very thinly veiled threatened email. So I was threatened via email. And I let that person marinate on that for an entire day while I went out and I got my meds that I take renewed. I only have 2, but needed to, like, I'm going to go ahead and have these renewed for 90 days, refilled. Let's get these refilled so I don't have to worry about that. So I did that. Kind of took a break, thought about what I was going to do, and got home and sent the response email that I was leaving, effective immediately. They did not deserve 2 more weeks of my time or my mental health. My mental health was in a very bad place, and they didn't get to have any more of that. They didn't deserve it. So I sent in my resignation. I CC'd my attorney, so he was aware of what was going on in case this company tried to pull any shit, which fortunately they didn't, because they know how fucked up they are. Pardon my French. They are. It's a bad company. And not the band, not the good kind. A terrible, terrible place to work. I want to just tell you this right now. If you're in a bad job, and if you're in a bad job, if your mental health is suffering because of your job, you need to quit that job. And you need to do so before you find another job. I didn't have another job. I got a mortgage to pay. I got a dog and 2 cats to feed. I've got bills. And I needed insurance. I didn't care. My mental health was so bad. If you're in that kind of a job and this is what you're feeling every day, you need to quit. And you need to do it before your mental health takes a turn for the worse and you can't control it. Get out of that job. No job is worth your mental health. Your life and your health are way more important than a damn job, and you will find another job. And I say that telling you, it took me a month. I was officially unemployed for almost a month. The second call that I got was the job that I wanted. And I got that call and I interviewed and I did really well on it. And then I had a panel interview with like 8 to 10 other people. Panel interviews are tough. They can be nerve-wracking, but this is a very welcoming company and they welcomed me and I was very comfortable in this interview. And then the next week I got the job offer and I accepted it. It is less money. It's about what I was making at my other job, but the job that I loved, which is fine. It's totally fine because I'm still making a good living. I've got my benefits back and the work-life balance is phenomenal. That's the most important thing, is that they actually care about your work-life balance. And when you're not at work, they don't have access to it 24/7. When you travel, they have a company policy that you will not crack your laptop open and you won't even do things that you could do on your phone. You won't do it. You will find another job if you're in a position like I was. You will find one. It might take a little bit, but you will find one, and your health is more important. Your mental well-being is more important than a damn job. So I'm putting that out there now. If you're in that same position, just quit. Just quit. These people do not know how to manage. They couldn't manage their way out of a paper bag. The person that sent me that email was not qualified for that job, and I know that because I had a friend peep her LinkedIn so I could figure that out. So I could see who I was talking to. And then I went, oh, you're not qualified for this position. That's why you're behaving that way. Because you don't know how to do what you're supposed to be doing. And this is not how you manage people. And it's certainly not how you get things done, period. Leave. Just leave. Your mental health isn't worth it. So because of all of that, and I know that doesn't seem like a big deal. Ooh, big whoopty shit. Did you quit your job? Ooh, it was a lot. It was a lot. I haven't been without a job since I was 16 and I'm 52. So it was a lot. And because of everything that was going on, I couldn't enjoy anything. I couldn't enjoy anything that I would normally enjoy. I couldn't enjoy any of that. That included making videos. That included traveling. I did travel, but I always knew I gotta go back to that shitty workplace when I get back. I have to do it again. And it was just made everything unenjoyable. So that's why I haven't been here. And I apologize. And because you are my subscribers, and even if you're not a subscriber, this is still an important message. I owed that to tell you where I've been. So no, I don't have 100,000 following. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have people that follow my channel, and I am extremely grateful that they like to watch the nonsense that I put out. And if those people can give me that kind of time, then I owe them and I owe you guys where I've been, and that's where I've been. My mental health was taking a serious hit. But I'm in a good place. I have a new job. Everything is good. And so I came back to do this video. My last video was, I believe, I think it was for her handbag, but the one before that was the Andiamo roller carry-on. And I left that video saying, I would give you an update about that. I'm going to give you an update about that bag. So here it is. Here's the bag. I have it in its dust bag. It's been stored in my bag. I actually just put it down. I just came back from a trip. So here it is. I'm going to take it out of the bag, and I'm just going to kind of show you what it looks like after that. So I put stickers all over my luggage when I travel. It's just my personality. It's just who I am as a person. So there are stickers all over it. So this is the one side of it, and this is the other side of it. This has been my roller carry-on since I went to Switzerland last year, and I've taken 4 other trips since then. So it's always carried on. It's always in the overhead. It's always in and out and being scraped against everything. And there are no scrapes, no dents. I mean, you can see there are like wear marks on it if you really look close at it, but there aren't any dents, and there's no scratches to where there's no, paint's missing, and it's not dented, and it's not damaged in any way, shape, or form. There we go, there's the right side up. It's just not. It's really done a great job. This suitcase, it's a hair bigger than the Monos, which is why I took it to Switzerland this year, but it does fit the European carriers carry-on, because my connector this year was in Charles de Gaulle, and so we had an Air France from Charles de Gaulle to Geneva, and it fit just fine in the overhead. So my update on this bag is that it is worth every penny. It's very lightweight. Again, I'm just holding it up on my thumb. I'm sitting on the floor. I am overweight and out of shape because of that job. I piled the weight on like you wouldn't believe. That's another story, but that'll come off eventually. But this suitcase is really great. The only marks that you can see on it are actually on the bumpers. So you can see there's one kind of like right there in the corner a little bit. And there's another in that corner. I don't know how well you can see those, but there's just a little bit right where they're supposed to be on those corner bumpers. So this bag has been phenomenal, and I will tell you something. When I came back from Switzerland, doing that, and my Remova check bag and a personal item, this bag I had so full of stuff, and I don't use compression cubes. To me, they just kind of get in my way. I have them. I bought them for the first time I went, and I didn't like how they came out. I didn't like how it looked. I tried them again this year. I still didn't like it. I just don't like them. They feel like they limit me space-wise. I can get more in there, honestly, without using them. And they also tend to dome in the center, so that's ridiculous. I just don't like them. If you like them, great. I can't stand them. And I've tried. I keep trying to use them every time I go on a trip. I keep trying to use them, and I go, oh, yeah, that's right. These are terrible. I hate these. I had this bag so loaded with stuff. So loaded. And I had probably 24 chocolate bars in here, too. Because the year before, I brought back 12. That wasn't enough for gifts. I needed more. So I brought back a little bit over 24. And I had them all in this suitcase, lining the bottom, filling in any little nook and cranny where I could put them in. And then I had all my clothes on top. Everything I bought went in there. I had 2 pair of shoes in that back part. And my tablet, which was also in the little tablet sleeve on there. And I had to kind of work it to get it closed. Okay, this didn't shut easily. I did have to really push it down there to get it closed. But I did, and it's got the clasps on it, so I didn't have to worry about the zippers popping or anything like that. I love this bag. It's great. It works phenomenally. And it's still really pretty. It's dent-free, it's scratch-free, and like I said, this has been in and out of overhead bins countless times, because even if I go on 2 trips, I'm on a minimum of 4 flights if I'm going on 2 domestic trips, because I live in the middle of the country. I live in Kansas City, so I got to connect somewhere, because I fly Delta, and so I don't fly, Kansas City's not a hub, so I have to fly into a hub and then go. So I'm at minimum of 4 flights I'm on for 2 trips. So that is my follow-up to that video. I'm sorry that it took me almost a year to do it. I apologize. Terrible job that I was in. I shouldn't make that excuse, but it literally, it ate my soul. It was an awful, horrible job. So please, if you're in one, get out. The other thing I wanted to mention, which is really, really cool, and I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if other airlines do it. Delta does it. But I have 4 little trading cards from my pilots. And they are aircraft trading cards. There's a 717. There's a 767-400. There's the A330. And there's the 777. If you want these cards, now you can get, I think they're on eBay. You can buy sets of these on eBay. And I think they're quite a bit of money. But your pilots have these cards. I got all 4 of these on one trip. He literally handed me 4 of them. If you ask the pilot for the flight trading cards, the airplane trading cards, they are very happy to give them to you. If you ask for them, they're not going to wander around and just hand them to you. You have to ask, and you do have to ask the pilot. So when you're boarding, if the pilot is there, ask him. If the pilot's staying there, when you're deboarding, ask them. And you can get these cool little trading cards. They've got the plane information on them. And then on the back has the stats of the aircraft. They're really cool. I didn't know these existed. I found out, I only found out because my boyfriend knew, and he got them for me on a trip. So that's how I found out about them. So now I know you can get these really cool aircraft trading cards, and like these are Delta specific. I don't know if the other airlines do that. I feel like they probably do, right? I feel like they do. I don't know. I can only speak for Delta. Delta has these trading cards. So if you are on a Delta flight and you get a chance to talk to pilot or first officer, ask them for these. The FAs don't carry them, so don't ask them. They have their own job to do. Don't interrupt their job, especially while they're still on the ground and not getting paid. If you can get some trading cards, ask the pilots. That's who's got them, and they will be happy to give them to you if they have them. So I wanted to let you know about that little trading card secret. So there you go. That's my video for today. I apologize for being gone for almost a year. I'm back. I do have some additional, I know you're going to be shocked. I have some additional carry-on bags to review. What? Carry-on bags? Yeah, I know. Again, it's just, I like them all. The ones that I have to review, I like all of them, and I use them each for a different purpose for carry-on. They are my carry-ons, and I do like them. It's not that I was actively looking to replace anything. I was actively looking to add, because I might have a disease. So that's today. That's my video for today. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for waiting. And thank you for subscribing when I wasn't even here and putting out new content. I appreciate that. I'll have a new video coming up next week with some other exciting news regarding some music that I've released. And I will let you know where you can find that. Because that did happen while I was away as well. So I did get to focus on that a little bit. I didn't get to focus on my music as much as I normally would have because that job sucked. But thank you for coming by. Thank you for being patient. And I hope that if you are in a really terrible job that is eating your soul, that you will heed my advice and quit and do so before you. I'm not trying to give out, terrible advice and make you penniless and poor, but if you have some money saved up, quit for your own mental health. Continue to search for a job, but don't stay in a place where you are miserable and it is eating you alive. Okay? So that's my message for today. Thanks again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.